And next, we are pleased to have with us Jane Tay, Chief AI Security Officer of VCI Global, to share with us how robust AI security frameworks are being implemented to ensure trust and safety in adoption. Over to you, Jane.
Very much. Hello? Oh, there we go. Thank you very much. Warm welcome. Very good morning to you. So my name is Jane. I'm the Chief AI Security Officer for VCI Global Limited. Just a little bit of background, because the host would like me to introduce myself a little. So I have 20 years of experience in cybersecurity and AI security research globally. I'm named top 100 woman in cybersecurity. As I'm a bit of a revolutionist, so I like to innovate. So back in 2018, I revolutionized the whole banking sector in Malaysia by introducing hackers to be on the second line of defense in banking industry. Obviously, the center banks, what we call Bank Negara here, for those who are not from Malaysia, the central bank risk governor actually called me in and asked me, why did you invite hackers into the bank? So that time, it was revolution in 2018. We heard about what red team is, but we never actually executed. So I was daring enough as a consultant for interiming as a CISO, Chief Information Security Officer in one of the banks here, to revolutionize and bring that idea and set up a whole team to hack the bank internally and provide the evidence how we actually, from a proactive. So I'm actually specializes in offensive security. This point, the reason why I'm emphasizing this point is what brings me to my next point I'm going to make. So I actually sit on a board for a few tech company, few US tech companies. So Kuala here is the subsidiary of VCI Global, which is a holding company that has several product and companies. If you see at the bottom, I don't know if you can see it, there's V-Gallon, which is our hardware, proprietary hardware encryptions at the military grade. Now, what I need from you at the audience is the next 8 minutes of your full attention, because I'm going to revolutionize and change the whole landscape of cybersecurity today. Everyone was talking about sovereignty. Now, what does it mean by sovereignty? It is you have the power, the ownership, the controlship at your fingertips and not dependent on foreign technologies, foreign powers, foreign nations, foreign intel, and so on and so forth. So what I'm going to present next is, today we're in a digital economy, but what makes up digital economy in the first place is data. Today we sit on big data, data lake. Every single person, from personal level to in the private sectors, to multinationals, to nations, governmental, it's all data. Today, data is gold, more than gold. So I'm going to talk to you 3 main problems that I've seen speaking internationally, and the problems I've seen in different countries in ASEAN, as well as in Middle East and Africa. Today, we have the problem from nation perspective, since there are different countries representative in the crowd. So sensitive data, whether it's from governmental to private entities, we all contain sensitive data. Today, in the internet, that's 10% of data that is out there. But 90% of the data still sits within NCII, which is National Critical Infrastructure Industries, banking, telco, supply chains, logistics, and so on and so forth. Those are the 14 in Malaysia. We have 14 NCII. So those are the critical data that we want to protect. One man's rubbish is another man's gold and treasure. So I'm sure you heard of that saying. Now, the second problem we have, first is data sovereignty. Second problem here is a rising attacks on cybersecurity. around the globe, not just in ASEAN, but particularly in ASEAN, we are becoming the center of attention. Reason being, why? We are now the hub for foreign investments. We are a booming economy, our populations, those all become targets for hackers because where the money resides, where data resides the most, with population sizes, that's where they will come for it. Because I own a company that specializes in hacking, so I know what are the targets. So in short, cybersecurity is the key. Now, the third problem we have is digital colonization. Today, all your data sits either in cloud, in all those applications that you use on your mobile phone, giving away freely, the keyword here is freely. Now, today we have a technology that would eventually monetize and pay back your data with money. Hang in there. So I know there's a lot of question marks. How do I own my own personal data? How do I protect it? What rights do I have, data rights? And how do I make money from my own data that the big giants are using, monetizing it, but we gain nothing from it? So this is a revolution idea that we are trying to address today. So the loss of ownerships, erosion of privacy, your own privacy. What do you know today? What kind of information are collected of you? Probably most of us don't know. And we never even bother to ask under the PDPA law to whatever your services that you subscribe to, what information do you hold about me? My financial records? Am I a good paymaster? What kind of scrolling, browsing habits do you contain of my histories? So, and no fair compensation, which is what I said earlier. So one goal here is trying to resolve this and making you rich and not the big tech company rich. So hence why I said it's a thought-provoking, revolutionary idea, and we are getting buy-in from nation government. Okay, so the solution here, the first one. So as I said earlier, Quango is a subsidiary of VCI Global Holding, and we have 129 registered patents in our technology itself. And we have also provide military-grade encryption at the hardware level. Now, as a hacker myself, I specialize in software hacking encryption. That is an easy kill for us, even though we need resources. But at the hardware level, unless that person have access at your GPU, at your servers, your hypervisors, physically, they are unable to hack you. So everything we design in VCI Global goes through hardware encryptions and software encryptions in our architecture, which I'll show you later on. And this is embedded, we call it an A5 chip, embedded at the motherboard itself, at the chip layer, with full sovereignty. You can control the whole server. You're not, this piece of machine is not sitting in someone's farm. It's not sitting in the US or anywhere outside of Malaysia. It's sitting right at your doorstep, in your office, or whatever you want to store it. Okay? Now, the first one, on the far left here, encrypted hardware ecosystem. That's the A5 chips that we talked about, and its design, providing end-to-end hardware-based encryption tools for government and enterprise use. So if you're large enough, you want to protect and control your data, everything that goes in and out, this will be the technology that is for you. But all of these technologies are already embedded in our products, so you don't need to worry about, I'm just describing what it contains within the product itself. Now, next we're actually going to target is the National AI Data Center. Now, this data center is not relying on foreign products. It's residing within Malaysia. If you want to have a private data center itself, we can build it for you. So that's the message here. And it's actually powered with AI, not just your conventional data centers. There's LLM inside that we can train to specific industry needs. Whichever industry you come from, the data will be curated for your industry use cases. And the whole stack is actually encrypted, which I'll show you in the next slide. And the third one is the National Exchange Platform, which is the one I think most of you are interested in. How do I make money from my own data? Today I'm sitting here, going on TikTok, on Instagram, happily uploading everything about my personal life, but I'm not getting anything from it. So how do you monetize from your own data? We have a Quango, what we call it, the Quango ecosystem there, where the data buyer and the data seller can then do an exchange, transactions. Every time you exchange, how do you protect? So I'm going to dive straight into it on the next few slides. Here is the actual hardware that you're seeing here. The encrypted data vault is real-time threat monitoring. It has firewalls encrypted with the gateways, like a hub, 3-in-1, and it's target for prevention of ransomware, which we know is #1 cybersecurity threat today. Doesn't matter which country you go, ransomware is #1. DDoS, malware. Today, it only takes 3 seconds for ChatGPT to spit out a ransomware code that you can actually execute today without error. And I've tested it, so with my actual engineer next to it. So here, our hardware itself is using PCIe card embedded inside the actual motherboard. And this vault is tamper-proof. Reason being why I said tamper-proof. Before it gets in, the encryption gateway itself will filter any files or data that contains viruses, ransomware, or any files that is suspicious before it actually goes into the vault itself. Now, on the second one, which is the yellow bit, the PCIe card, which is the hardware-based encryption, proprietary, and we actually have certifications of ISO and EAL 4+. 4+ means it's not just commercials, but the encryption technology itself is at the military grade, so hence why it's perfect for government or sensitive information that you want protections for. Now, the one that I was talking about, sovereignty of data. How do we protect from local, either as a private entities or as nations? How do we build? Where do I even start? So we have a whole blueprint on how to start an AI data center for your organizations or for your own government use, with a simple blueprint and strategies that we can eliminate the reliance on foreign dependencies on technologies, hyperscalers, maintenance, support, technical support, and don't forget, most of the cloud providers today, they have their home jurisdictions to report to. So that will supersede whatever Malaysia instructed. You can't tell the cloud providers to shut down or whatever, or give me data on your backend PGP configuration for a start, because that is proprietary, their home country's jurisdiction. They have the rights to retain those data and not reveal it to us, for example. Now, what you see over here is the actual technology stacks as to how we actually protect those data end-to-end. So the local vault here is the backup of, so on the left-hand side here, you have military, finance, healthcare, tourism, and so on. So these are different grades of sensitivity and categorization of data. So if you belong to the highly ultra-sensitive sector or industry, you belong to tier 1 over here. Now, the second sensitivity of categorizations goes to finance, manufacturing, and so on healthcare with IPs. And the last one here is for any less sensitive industry sectors, will be tier 3. But either way, it doesn't matter the categorizations, but here is a solid private only. So those sectors, we don't combine all of them together. So for level 1, tier 1, and tier 2, they have their own so-called private cloud, but in this sense, it's the data center for themselves, for that sector. And you can even customize it further by having your own data center on premises. Now, before it goes into the actual cluster of exchanging data, the vault itself, so there's a gateway here, if you can see that, where it says the blue color watermark, every data or documents before it goes into the secure encrypted vault is actually watermarked, tagged, categorized, the sensitivity level of the data. Okay? Before it goes into the vault, the gateway will screen through the firewall of all the viruses, malware, any suspicious files, strip them off before it actually goes into the vault here. The vault will make sure it's single source of truth, non-tempered data, then only goes to the processing of exchanging the data from the buyer to the seller, as well as before it comes out, it will be encrypted again to be used and deciphered for whatever commercial use or any other usage you want for the data. At the bottom here, we have the encrypted storage and the secure AI computing I was talking earlier, which is all embedded in the hardware chip level. And the most important thing, all the transactions here is actually sitting in a blockchain. So no one can tamper any files. It's all, I'm sure you know what blockchain is. For those who are not sure what blockchain is, it's an audit platform that traces and tracks every single movement of the file from the beginning source to the end of the destination. So no one can tamper that. Okay? Now, today what we are solving. These are the three. We're solving the dependency on cloud providers, okay? And we're trying to mitigate the evolving cyber attacks by making sure it's hardware-based encryptions, not a virtual or software-based, because that can be hacked. And the last one is laying the foundation for data monetization. I know my session is very short. I only given a certain amount of time. So if you want to know how you can monetize from the data you currently own or sits in your organization, you may go to booth 9047, hall 9 next door. Okay? Thank you. Any questions? I think I have 2 minutes. Any burning questions, anyone? No? Otherwise, you can see me on MITEC. Oh, yes. Is there a mic for this lady over here?
Yes, there's a mic coming.
Yeah.
Mic 3. Hi, my name is Nadia. I'm from MITEC. I wanted to know, I think what captured me was the fact that you wanted to make money for the people who are providing all these terabytes and God knows how much amount of data to all these big techs. So how close are we for users to make money on every single word and alphabet that we give to these big techs?
That's a perfect question, Nadia. So we actually have the technologies in place, the whole platform in place. We need the government buy-in to set that and impose it onto people like TikTok, Instagram, whatever end users are actually trading data on a daily basis. And if they can pump in through our Quango platform, which is that encryption that, oh, okay, it's gone. The architecture. So if they can pump into the ecosystem, 1, it's protected. 2, it's encrypted. Your privacies are being protected. 3, the data user and the data providers can earn money. So you are the data providers individually. So you can consent and sell your data if you want, to who you want, when you want. So that is already in place. So if you can go to our booth, Hall 9, there's actually, the POC is there. You can see how it flows step by step. So what kind of data you want to sell, to who you want to sell, at what price, when. And you can even retract. And it will anonymize certain sensitive personal information to be sold. It will anonymize by setting it up. Yeah. Hope that answered your question, Nadia. Perfect. Thank you very much, and have a good day.